The local bourse remains vulnerable to the volatility in the Middle East. In fact, the benchmark KOSPI began its trade today with a free fall. Our Jun-hong covers that plunge and more.
War fears in Iran sent shockwaves through South Korea's stock market, leaving the country's benchmark indexes with double-digit losses. The KOSPI opened 3.4% lower and extended losses through the morning, eventually triggering a circuit breaker after the index stayed down more than 8% for over a minute, halting trading for 20 minutes. The index closed at 5,093.54, plunging more than 12% from the previous session and falling back to the 5,000 level. The KOSDAQ also remains under pressure. The index opened 2.25% lower than the previous day and extended its losses, triggering its first sell-side sidecar of the year. The decline continued, eventually prompting a circuit breaker late in the morning and sending the index below the 1,000 level. With Middle East tensions shaking markets across Asia, attention is turning to why South Korea's stock market has been hit particularly hard.
Among major energy-dependent economies, South Korea's market had risen the most since the start of the year. The recent decline reflects a pullback from those gains.
Major heavyweights, including Samsung Electronics, SK Hynix, and Hyundai Motor, all moved lower, while defense stocks that had surged the previous day fell sharply on profit-taking. Unlike Tuesday, when bargain buying briefly appeared, selling pressure continued on Wednesday as market anxiety intensified. Despite the steep decline, analysts say a rebound remains possible, depending on additional triggers.
If some of the uncertainties begin to ease or a trigger emerges, a quick recovery seems possible. In that process, foreign buying will be crucial, and that will largely depend on moves in the $1 exchange rate.
Meanwhile, the Korean won briefly rose above 1,500 during trading, meeting one of the worst-case conditions, while uncertainty remains over how the Middle East conflict and global oil prices will unfold. Jun-hong, Arirang News.